Bungou Stray Dogs, episode 19 review. Some things I liked about this episode. Some things I was like kind of irked me a bit. We start off with this episode. You have the guild members invading the agency, or where the two girls are with Haruno and Naomi, and they're trying to escape, right? And Lovecraft, who is like very quiet guy, very like monotone-ish, and you have this other character. I looked it up. It was like Steinbeck. Like all these characters, they're named after like these historians or writers, and they show their powers here in this episode. And one episode, he like cuts a seed and he puts it in his fucking neck. That kind of weirded me out. But talk about an OP power. He's able to use his own like grapevines and connect it to the woods, and he's able to find anyone who's trying to escape, probably throughout the earth, because later on in the episode he used the concrete for his power, and he was able to find the ladies when they're trying to escape again. But as that's going on, they're fighting against the sister's brother, and then they're fighting against Dopu. And this episode kind of revealed that deep down the agency is able to go dark side too. They've captured them. We get some flashbacks with Steinbeck, and we have him like talking to Naomi's brother, and he tells him like, listen, you're not the only motherfucker who can go dark side here. He's using his power where he can make people like invisible. He casts his illusions, and there's a truck driver driving on the road, and he runs them both over. So basically he risks injury for the truck driver. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty damn cool. And dark though, he's able to show like he's able to go through different lanes for his sister. And I absolutely love that about like that character. Like we're getting more insight on some of these characters, what happens when you push them over to the edge. And we kind of already knew that someone will go like beyond and more beyond for their sister, especially if you have a bit of a romantic thing for your sister. It's a little weird. But anyway, the next part of this episode, they escape, and here's the part that I kind of didn't like, was that as they escape, well, I actually like this part. I'm going all over the place. I'm doing all this standing up, out of time. Sorry. Anyway, so they run into this chick on the train, and little did they know that the Port Mafia is trying to fuck with them too. They're trying to, it's like a three front war. The Port Mafia, the Guild, and the agency, and they run into this chick, and she brushes up against them. She looks weird. She's got these weird eyes. They get off on the train, and apparently Atsushi got put under a genjutsu by this chick when she rubbed up against her and she hurt her. And this girl's name is Q. And apparently she's able to use genjutsu and put him under a spell, and he starts hurting Haruno and Naomi. And he's like hurting him with his hands, and he's a powerful dude when he pulls out his tiger mittens. And the funny part is that the Port Mafia actually pulled Dazai to the side so he doesn't get hurt, and then he realizes it, like, oh shit, they tugged me along just so that they wouldn't hurt me. And so he comes, and here's what I didn't like, was that after this aftermath is done and Dazai is able to get Atsushi out of that, mirage, the genjutsu, he does the self-pity thing. I am sick and tired of him doing the self-pity. And on top of that, we saw that fucking flashback again. I am sick and tired of seeing those priest guys in hoods always looking down on him. He's like, no, I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. The first season, they fucking spammed the shit out of that flashback. I am sick and tired of it. And this guy's self-pitying himself again. Like, I can't stand this character, Atsushi, how he does that sometimes. And I want him to fucking grow, man. Grow some fucking cojones. Get over it. And Dazai does the thing that I love. He smacks the shit out of him. Right before he was about to do it, I was like, hit him. And smacks him. And then he tells him, hey, do me a favor. Stop pitying yourself. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. And they walk off. And then Atsushi gets out of his little crying mode. I'm like, thank you, Dazai. Dazai's my favorite character. Atsushi's like my least favorite character out of the series. I don't really like him, even though he's the main character. Everyone else I like. But him, he just bugs me with the so much self-pitying thing. And I want him to grow. And I need him to learn better about his tiger powers, because he seems to be getting his ass kicked a lot. And he beat Ryunosuke last season somehow. Anyway, but I just... So you see, but the next thing you see Dazai talking to Q, and they talk like the bravado, like old friends, and she's got like, the way she had Atsushi under the spell, it looked like he had like the Sharingan and shit. I'm like, man, we got a powerful genjutsu user here, man. That was pretty awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this character moves on and goes forward in the series, because she looks like the kind of character, Q, who has probably gone through some trials and errors in her life, and she's probably been beaten down. And we're probably gonna get a sob story for a lot of these characters. That's how it is sometimes with these villains. And I'm glad that they're making them one dimensional, but I'm looking forward to this character development of Q. And I want to see how Dazai fights her. That's gonna be an interesting fight. With the next part of this episode was that you have you get some new characters here that they show the names are, and if you see the name of their power, their gift, it's kind of interesting. You see this one lady, her name is Louisa, right? And she's talking to the leader, Edwards, and she's like all nervous. It looks like she has some kind of romantic interest, and on the sides it says "Power, Little Woman," and I'm thinking, whoa, are we gonna get like some kind of Ant-Man ability here, man? I'm really looking forward to that. Like, whew, that's gonna be fun to look at. An Ant-Man ability, you go around and you punch people, but they walk off, and they have to go and apparently do this another plan, and they're gonna go after again. I guess their target. I'm gonna talk about that right now. But in the middle of this episode, we get Ango. Dazai goes out and meets Ango. It's time for him to pull out his trump card, because the fact is the Port Mafia has pulled out Q, and she's one OP motherfucker. The guild, everyone here is really powerful. The agency doesn't seem as strong as the guild and the Port Mafia, so I think they recognize that, and I'm glad that Dazai is able to notice that. He needs the help of the agency, the gifted agency. Back when we had the flashback with him and Oda and Ango, he talks to Ango and he says, "You think I still forgive you for what happened between us and Oda?" I'm like, and he pulls out a gun, and they do this thing where they go out and driving, and they're kind of negotiating with each other, see if he can get the help of the agency. But then all of a sudden, a car accident happens, and I'm like, what's going on there? What the fuck happened? And I'm like, whew, that's gonna be... maybe Ango planned it, maybe for Dazai to get hit, or maybe Dazai is planning something. Everyone's always planning something or something different here and there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dazai expected a car crash and he has some kind of backup plan. But anyway, the ending of this chapter, you have the leader attacking Atsushi, and he tells him, "Oh, the bounty I put on you was this much. That's not enough for me to buy you for." And then he's like, "You have other reasons to be alive for." And then we get Kyoka. Kyoka shows up. Where the fuck is she been? I'm thinking, like, where'd you go, girl? Did someone take you back? I mean, you have even Ozaki, who's worried about you staying back at the shop, and she doesn't know where you are. No one took you. She ran off. I'm really interested to see if she has a backup plan, or if she went to go get help herself. Really looking forward to the next couple episodes. I can't wait. I want more Nathaniel and Margaret. I hope they're okay. Looking forward to it. I'm really hyped about this series. Oh, another thing I didn't like. It's like a pet peeve of mine. You know when in the first fight scene and Mr. Grape Guy was using his powers, why the fuck do you explain the power to your enemy? Why does everyone do that? Because then you gave Dopo freaking insight on how to defeat you. That pisses me off. I can't stand that unnecessary exposition in anime that's done over and over again. It's one of my pet peeves I hate about this. I'm like, two things I didn't like was that, and then of course Atsushi being a bitch. But that's my only complaints about these episodes. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. But yeah, Atsushi, stop being a bitch and stop explaining your powers to your enemies, man. Just get down to the action and let the action be the explanation on how we figure out what your powers are. I can't stand that in an anime in general. Obviously, Bungou does it. So many other anime does it, but I just can't stand that. 4 out of 5 stars. Hope you guys liked the review. Fanchart out.